Welcome to Madison, Indiana. It's the day after Memorial Day 2018, and the train crew of the city-owned short line are preparing to move 3 vintage diesel locomotives and 2 historic passenger cars from the Madison State Hospital Spur track to the Jefferson Proving Grounds just north of town. The Madison Railroad dedicated these 3 switchers to honor NASA, the U.S. Navy, and the rest of the United States military in a ceremony adjacent to the Indiana Veterans Memorial Cemetery. The Madison Railroad is a Class 3 short line operating between Madison and North Vernon, Indiana, interchanging with the CSX Indiana subdivision. The railroad company has just shy of 25 miles of main line, with 14 additional miles of storage track available within the Jefferson Proving Grounds, a former military weapons testing site built during World War II. The Proving Grounds are now home to an industrial park the Madison Railroad also serves. The railroad's reporting mark is CMPA, which stands for the City of Madison Port Authority. 2018 marked the company's 40th anniversary in operation. Founded in 1978, the short line is known for operating Indiana's first rail line, with history going all the way back to 1836. We were honored to be part of the Madison Railroad's year-long celebration, covering the history of the railroad in a feature-length documentary, which can be found on our YouTube channel by clicking the link in the video description. In the fall, the Madison Railroad also celebrated by running steam excursions with tank engine number 85. CMPA number 4 is one of 2 locomotives that the Madison Railroad acquired in November of 2015 from the Crane Naval Depot in Crane, Indiana. Locomotive number 4 was originally built by Baldwin as a VO 1000 for the Atlantic Coastline Railroad in October of 1943, wearing number 15. Later, the locomotive was renumbered to 104 and then 617 when it was working for the Seaboard Coastline. After retirement in the 1970s, it was sold to the United States Navy. The locomotive was rebuilt in 1985 with an EMD prime mover and was maintained at the Crane Naval Locomotive Facility near Bloomington, Indiana. The locomotive was painted to resemble the Navy Blue Angels and features the USS Indianapolis painted under the cab by a local artist. CMPA number 5 was also built as a VO 1000 Baldwin for the Nashville, Chattanooga, and St. Louis Railway in August of 1943 as number 30. It was later renumbered to 50 and then the 2150 when working for the Louisville and Nashville Railroad. After retirement in the late 1970s, it was sold to the United States Navy. It was also rebuilt in 1985 with an EMD prime mover and maintained at the Crane Naval Locomotive Facility, just like sister locomotive number 4. The Madison Railroad acquired number 5 in 2015. Locomotive number 3 was built by EMD as Toledo, Peoria, and Western SW 1500, number 306, in May of 1970. It operated on the TP&W for 14 years before being purchased by NASA in July of 1984. The locomotive was used to haul space shuttle components to the Kennedy Space Center for nearly 3 decades. To match the NASA colors, the locomotive was repainted in 2008 in its current red, white, and blue scheme. The number 3 was later acquired by the Madison Railroad in May of 2015, where it now operates in daily train service. We would follow the train north out of Madison to the proving grounds before heading south to Jeffersonville, Indiana, for some action on the Louisville and Indiana Railroad later in the afternoon. As Indiana's first railroad, the main line of the CMPA also features Indiana's first railroad bridge over Harberts Creek near a location called Wirt Station. Around 4 p.m., after about an hour's drive further south, we found ourselves trackside in Jeffersonville, Indiana, on the Louisville and Indiana Railroad. Acquired in January of 2018, the L&I leases two SD40-2 locomotives from CIT Rail with their signature Pennsylvania Railroad-inspired scheme and special Veterans logos. The units were repainted during a recent upgrade at Metro East Industries in Fairview Heights, Illinois. This Veterans scheme was designed by Tyler Hardin of Tyler Hardin Media. Hardin also designed the Madison Railroad's updated logo that premiered in the company's 40th anniversary documentary. Locomotive number 3001 was built for the Southern Pacific Railroad in 1966 as an EMD SD45, while number 3002 was built for Union Pacific in 1979 as an SD40-2. This was our second time visiting the LIRC, with the first being in 2016. Between Louisville and Indianapolis, the railroad has been completely rebuilt with mainline standard welded rail. CSX shares the main line out of Louisville, operating trains on the LIRC north to Seymour, Indiana, where they then take the CSX Indiana subdivision east toward Cincinnati. Around 5 p.m., the train departed the yard in Jeffersonville for Indianapolis. We would chase the train north with our good friend Steve Smedley from Trains Magazine, who was also covering the Madison Railroad and the Louisville and Indiana for upcoming articles. During this chase, we were experiencing some difficulties with a stubborn tripod that didn't want to pan smoothly. Though frustrating, we tried our best to capture the veterans units in action. Columbus, the train enters yard limits. Here, the Z550 will drop off some of its cars for the customers in the area. Columbus is one of the busier points on the LIRC, with daily activity by yard crews on duty throughout the week. After departing Columbus, we would catch the train at 2 more locations before calling it a day just south of Indianapolis. Thank you for watching Delay in Block Productions. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, happy railroading from all of us at Delay in Block Productions.